Good afternoon and welcome to Audiotree Live for Friday, May 3rd, 2013. We're very blessed to have in the studio with us Such Gold.
Shall we?
Hey guys, so starting with Ben here, go clockwise. Your record, your full length, is called Misadventures.
Yes.
Could you share with me what are some of your worst or maybe favorite misadventures you've had along the way? Just one each, I suppose.
The one that recently comes to mind was one that I wasn't actually involved in. Our van broke down in Texas, Fort Stockton, Texas, in the middle of nowhere, and our guitar player Nate over here and our friend Eric had to stay behind.
Oh, dang.
For, 5 days? Something like that? Yeah. In the middle of nowhere, Texas.
Dang.
And we rode with Major League, another band we're on tour with, and they helped us out a lot. We still made all the shows.
Cool. That's awesome. Got friends to help you out, man. Sweet. What about you, man?
Why don't you skip me so I can think about it a little
All right, we'll skip you. Let's go to Devan.
The four of us, besides Nate and Eric, we all rode in Major League's van, and their van broke down on the way to one of the shows.
It's like a double van, you know,
Yeah,
like when
it
an
was.
ambulance breaks down, does another ambulance come pick it up?
So that was like on the way to San Diego. So like we had a bunch of friends from San Diego come pick us up
Dang.
and make the show go on.
Sweet. And you made it to that show, yeah, successfully?
Yeah, we did. Yep.
Cool. Back to you, or skip again?
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
We did a world tour a couple of years ago, and I brought 3 guitars. And when we got to Australia, one was broken. The neck was completely busted. I switched over to my other Gibson SG. We went to Japan with that. 1 or 2 shows in, the neck broke on that. Had to I don't know, I think I brought it with me, shipped it home with RJ, our old manager who was with us. And then I get to England, and I'm playing my third backup, and it was, something was happening with, like, the input or something. It just sounded like garbage the whole time, and I couldn't figure it out. And then on the last day of a month-long tour over there, I figured it out, and it was too late. So I mean, it was just like a nightmare for like 2 months. All my guitars were broken.
So did you borrow other people's guitars, or?
Yeah.
Cool.
Pretty much by the time we got to England, I had to use the other band's guitars every night. It was unbelievably annoying.
Yeah, bummer, man.
For sure.
All right, Joe.
I think mine was probably when we were on tour with Strung Out. We played Hard Rock Cafe in Las Vegas. At the time, I was 20 years old, so I wasn't really legal to gamble, but I did anyways. And of course, security came over and they were like, "Yo, let me see your ID." Brought me to the back room and all that. It was something out of like a bad gangster movie.
Serious?
Yeah, like they just brought me to the back,
even know that.
back room.
Did they wear sunglasses, like when they came and got you?
No, it was just this big dude, and he just scared the shit out of me. But he just brought me in the back, and I ended up not being able to take my money that I won.
Oh, dang it.
Took all
They
my
took
money.
your chips.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
But yeah,
Bummer.
What were you playing?
just slot machines.
Okay.
Now
I think
that
I
he's
was
21, we're going back for the chips.
Yeah.
Yeah, revenge
those
flick.
chips.
That's episode
Yeah.
number 2. Yeah, absolutely. What about you, man?
The first one I thought about was when we were in Cologne, Germany. Played a really fun show, and then met a girl that offered us a place to stay. We didn't have anywhere to stay that whole tour, so she was the only one who said we could stay with her. It was her and her boyfriend, and we gave them a ride. They lived about an hour from Cologne, and on their way to her house, it started to become apparent that she was like really drunk and unstable and like hostile, and then that just continued to escalate throughout the whole night.
It was a mess.
We
She was just
stayed
drinking Red Bull all night.
Yeah, she like told us that we would all have beds, and we got there, and it was like a tiny room with a ceiling that like
Oh, no.
ran like at a 45-degree angle.
Oh, goodness.
So I was like in the angles trying to sleep, but she just kept the lights on, kept drinking Red Bull, and complaining about how she couldn't go to sleep.
We did
All
watch.
right,
We
well,
watched.
it's bizarre.
We did watch
Interesting
that,
character.
that Strike Anywhere video that night. Though.
Yeah,
That
and
was
then
nice.
I found a Strike Anywhere DVD and put that in, and she left. I think.
That made
Yeah,
it.
she,
That made it okay.
she left her own house.
Yeah.
All right, men, let's go into your next two.
Cool.
Such gold.
And
We're in the studio with such gold here on Audiotree Live. Ben, I have a question specifically for you, man.
Okay.
So, as I have heard, I suppose, you are one of the prime components for the writing of the music, lyrically and instrumentally. And you're pretty technically proficient in a few instruments, right? Or at least guitar.
Guitar
Yeah.
and bass.
Okay.
Little bit on drums.
Cool. So when or why did you come to the conclusion that you wanted to sing lead or whatever and not have an instrument, in front of you?
That's just the opportunity that was presented for me. I wanted to play guitar in the band at first, and they didn't need a guitar player. They needed singers, and I enjoyed the music, so I still wanted to be a part of it.
Sure.
And being a singer is my way of doing that.
Yeah, so did you come into the band after it was already formed then, and they needed another singer, or was it like all of you guys coming together, and the
Pretty
final
much.
choice was to put you there then as the singer?
Yeah, I was like the last person.
Okay,
Yeah.
sure. Awesome. All right, man. Let's move into another song.
Survival.
In the studio with such gold on Audiotree Live. All right, guys, so you've been out touring for how long now? A few years, right?
Oh,
The gap? Can you even recall?
Probably 3.5.
3.5 to 4, basically constantly, right? With, a few breaks here and there.
yeah.
More or less.
Do you have a favorite city, any of you, that you like to play, or a favorite venue? We can start with Nate.
I really like anywhere in California.
Cool.
San Francisco. We just played Bottom of the Hill. That was really cool. I don't know. There's a lot of cool places. Like the Jackpot in Lawrence, Kansas. I like the Majestic, the Magic Stick in Detroit, which we're actually going to play tomorrow.
Cool.
There's a place down in north of Miami called the Talent Farm. It's just it really caters to touring bands and stuff like that. We haven't played there in a while, but that's a cool spot.
Awesome.
Yeah.
What about you, man? Devan? Do you have one specifically? Any of those, or another one that you like?
I really like Denver.
Okay.
Got a lot of friends there.
Cool.
A lot of good restaurants and stuff. So.
Do you get a free place to stay then when you stay there on somebody's couch or
usually.
on the floor?
And my sister's there. We chill with her a lot.
Awesome. And she doesn't kick you out and drink Red Bull and anything anything like that.
She's
Cool.
not a crazy German. So.
Yeah. Okay. Cool. Yeah, man. All right. What about you, Joe?
I really like the church in Philly. That's always
First
been my favorite.
Unitarian.
Yeah.
Sure. What's cool about it?
It's just Philly's just an awesome city, awesome scene, and that stage is just perfect size.
Yeah,
Awesome.
they have a lot of really great shows there.
Yeah.
Awesome. Skylar,
I like the Auto Bar in Baltimore.
what about that do you like?
The sound is really good. The venue is really cool inside. All the walls are lined with posters of bands that have played there, and I don't know. I just always liked it there. Always liked the vibe there. And this past time that we played there was probably the most fun show of this tour, I thought.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Sweet. Ben?
One of my favorite places to play is in our hometown, Rochester, New York, a place called the Bug Jar. Our friend Tim Avery books there. He's one of the nicest people in Rochester, so he's fun to work with. The shows are always fun. We can get our friends to come out.
Cool.
Yeah, that's what I would say.
Yeah, do you get like that hometown vibe? Do you think people come because they know like that you're from there? Or I guess you hope so, maybe?
It's always a mix. There's some people we don't know, and a lot of people are just people we grew up with and
Yeah.
stuff.
Sure.
Yeah.
It's kind of the bar that
Healthy
everybody
mix.
like. It's the cool bar too.
Oh, okay. Like
Yeah.
in the area, that's the
Like,
place that
everybody
you would go.
They have a lot of cool shows there, and everybody just likes to go and drink there.
Depends on what level of cool you're on.
Yeah, yeah. Some nights it's
they play
cooler than
Morrissey
others.
at the
Yeah.
bar, so.
Sometimes they have like dance night. Like, yeah, it's a little too cool for me, but you know.
Yeah.
Awesome. All right. You guys want to go into your next one?
When I found out about new advancements
lot for being here, man. Yeah, absolutely. Hey, so I'm interested to hear from each of you individually. After any one of these, troubling incidents happen, your van breaks down, or your van's van breaks down, or your van's van break down, do you have a record that you can always go back to that helps you, get back on the road? Maybe just one that you grew up with, or one that, is just sort of always there for you. Ben, do you want to go first?
Probably Ed Gein, Judas Goats, and Diesel Eaters.
Cool.
Whenever I'm really upset, that is a record that I like to put on full blast.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah.
Nate?
For me, one of my favorite driving records is now the new Torch record, Harmonic Craft, or first Red Fang record, the self-titled one. It's just really driving stoner rock kind of stuff that just gets me ready to drive 1,000 miles somewhere.
Sure. And maybe overnight, or maybe you're way tired or
Keeps
something.
me up. I just crank heavy shit like that
Cool.
all night, and somehow these guys sleep through it, so I don't know.
Yeah, they gotta, I guess.
I have no idea how. I couldn't. I don't know.
Devin?
I think one of my favorites is Sparta's Porcelain. Really chill.
Yeah,
Very good driving record.
sure.
Puts me in a perfect good mood.
Awesome, man. What about you?
For me, it's always Holy Shit by Living with Lions. Just puts me in a good mood.
Yeah.
Just puts me in a good mood.
Yeah, it's kind of a funny but also really heavy record,
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. Skylar?
Been listening to a lot of Wilco the past couple tours. Ghost is Born is probably my favorite record by them.
Okay.
I've been playing that nonstop this
Yeah.
tour, so.
Yeah, absolutely. All right, guys. Gonna go into 2 now and take it away.
Keyhole? No. What did I miss?
Storyteller.
Oh, yeah, okay.
Thanks for tuning in for Audiotree Live. This is Such Gold.
The midnight drugs go walking, happy looking sad and talking destiny. This is what the city pays for, I can see. The neon lights within the body get separation anxiety. This is what the city pays for, I can see. The dream they sell I put, I'm overwhelmed again. And I wish that I could say, will the days leave me?
Awesome. Absolutely incredible. I think we have time for one more. Would you like to play one more?
Sure.
All right. Well, while you're tuning, waiting around, I was just wondering, you guys are pretty young, you know, early 20s. Have you faced any sort of like maybe discrimination of some sort for being young, besides getting kicked out of a casino, which you sort of knew you weren't supposed to be in anyway? I mean, do people respect you? Do you find, you know, drum techs or, I don't know, people that are in charge of the venue?
For the most part, yeah. I feel like we're like with me. I have a baby face. I look young. I am young,
Yeah,
but
me too.
I look younger than I am, and like
Sure.
I feel like I always catch shit from security guards here and there, you know, because they don't ever expect that I'm in the band or whatever.
Yeah, they're like, oh, you're 14, please leave, right?
So
Yeah.
you know, not everywhere obviously, but here and there, I definitely catch some shit for that.
Yeah.
Other than that, that's about all I can think of.
Cool. Anybody else? I mean, do you agree with that generally?
Yeah, people
Yeah.
are really cool for the most part.
Cool.
I feel like with older bands, like dudes in older bands, you have to kind of earn a bit of respect.
Right.
And it's not entirely difficult, but you know, it takes a little time. You know,
Yeah.
like if you're touring with a band that everybody's like 10 or 15 years older than you or something,
Yeah.
you know, they kind of like, oh, these are just fucking kids. You
Yeah.
know what I mean? But, so you kind of have to earn their respect over time of being on tour and such.
Yeah, definitely. But I mean, you guys have been doing it for a few years, so that's got to, you know, you got props there for sure. It's not like you fresh out or anything
Yeah.
like that, but
Put everything on hold to do this, and we've been doing it for 3.5, 4 years now. So.
sure. Awesome. All right, we'll go into the last one then.
Ready? All right now, boys.
thanks, guys, so much for coming into the studio.
Yeah,
everybody.
thanks for having us.
Yeah. So, Bottom Lounge tonight. Doors are at 7. Please get there if tickets aren't already sold out.
For sure.
This has been Audiotree Live for Friday, May 3rd, 2013. Thanks for tuning in.